vibration. Energy, frequency, vibration.
Yo, what's going on, world? It's FNX. This is the universal frequency. Thank you for your patience. I can't even lie. I was watching a Lakers game. We won. Go Lakers. I know there's a bunch of Laker haters out there. Yes, I'm on the East Coast and I'm a Laker fan. So what? It should have been an easier dub, but either way, we're not here for that. But that's what I was doing. I was watching my team. But yeah, man, happy to be back. We up late, but we're vibing, we're talking, we're getting it done. Before we get started, though, we got to show love to who we're powered by. Shout out to DnkybongsTV. Yeah, of course. So one of the things that I wanted to do was to play y'all some of my new stuff. So we're just gonna rock it out. Oh yeah, look at this. This is fire. FNXmusic.com on the way.
My brother, this is the way. Eat clean, exercise, and play.
FNXmusic.bandcamp.com is where you can go get
this is the way. Walk just well inside.
Because there's no way they will let it on streaming. It's a wild sample.
My brother, this is the way. Sunrise to the skies are gray. Make God mold your mind like clay.
Both rise of the phoenix.
Way that we do. Yeah, our thing, my brother, this is the way. No golden calf shall we idolize. They perverted the word and now they want to tell us Bible lies. But you will send us through the highest prize. I only return to this world just so I can show you what I ascribe. I can spit in to get his diatribe. Cause I am God, the virtuous resurrection and fire of mine. It's a sounding trumpet when I arrive. I can breathe fire in every bush on Mount Sinai. Old Testament gone, reckoning my flows and involved specimen raw. Melanin with jaw, venom with dawn. Sediment raw, penance for long tendency choice. Dark side of the mold, doing using my voice. Like my conscious mind is gone idle. I'm the summation of every written holy book and all Bibles. I hold the title of all titles. With the son of the king of kings kicking over the song site. Eat clean, exercise and pray.
Eat clean, exercise and pray.
My brother, this is the way. Walk just well inside the fray.
That is the
destiny arrived today. My brother, this is the way. Sunrise to the skies are gray. May God mold your mind like clay. This is the way that
we do.
My brother, this is the way. Feel the dreams, no really Yoda. With punches that can force choke somebody just like Baby Yoda. Arm and hammer, no baking soda. I spit rap with the mortar, so you'll probably smell his decaying odor.
All right. We warmed up yet? Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's do something else. Get the energy flowing in here. I mean, it's dumb late where I'm at, so you know, I keep my shit going. All right.
Yeah.
Praise to the Most High.
I just want to let y'all know that I'm not like these other dudes. I'm not your average.
The Most High wants you, God, not this weird shit. These people
see, I handle religion. I'm not Muslim or Christian. I'm just focused on wisdom. I told you that my vision was spiritual. I walk with faith in the spiritual. Oh God, see, I handle religion. I'm not Muslim or Christian. I'm just focused on wisdom. I told you that my vision was spiritual. See, I walk with faith in the spiritual. Oh God, yeah. See, it's really my money and your power. Time's up. There's no room in your circle for cowards. This is for the ones who the serpent devoured. I have no lane. See this highway, your circuit is ours. The hood is hot and the diesel is sour. I spit like Mario when receiving a flower. I got a bunch of demons I need to devour and promise to bring balance to rapper receiving these powers. Finger snap, found my purpose and went to war. Hold a hammer the size of Thor and Avengers 4. These are the things I'll be remembered for. My flow was like a disaster movie. Hans Zimmer was meant to score. The most lyrical one. I ain't scared to say it. I've been nice for so long. I write lyrics in Aramaic. I'm LeBron in the gym. Y'all want me to lay up.
Lakers.
But I'm shooting like Kobe to 81 on my way up. Coming off scale. Now I'm just putting my weight up. And take the summer off. I was just putting my weight up. Walking amongst thieves. My mama told me to pray up. But I fear no evil. Cause the way I'm moving is spiritual.
You heard?
I came to tell you it's spiritual.
Easy.
Oh God, see I have no religion. I'm not Muslim or Christian. I'm just focused on wisdom. I told you that my vision is spiritual. See I walk on faith in the spiritual.
All right. Okay. We good now. I got music to play for y'all. I do. And it's interesting just where I am at in this process, because I would have told you when I first started recording this set of music how different it was. I really didn't know what was the point. There really wasn't a direction of it. And as I started to record, things just came in line with the Rise of the Phoenix. That's what it's called. I got dope producers on there. Shout out to MindsEye Productions, of course. I got Bulger on the track, Beatsmith. I got like 7-8 producers on there. But the thing about the Rise of the Phoenix that is really synonymous with what we are speaking about today, it's about ascension, right? Redemption. Last week we spoke about climbing up the mountain, and the analogy that I had was at the bottom of the mountain, you're going to have a bunch of people attempting to climb. The gravity really isn't that, intense. The air is great. You have a bunch of people at the bottom that may climb with you, and you may form friendships with them. But the higher you climb, the more intense the gravity gets, the thinner the air gets, the less room there is for people to climb. And you see people do weird things to get up that mountain. They're willing to do things. They're willing to kick people off. They're willing to, I don't want to say the word sacrifice, but they're willing to do anything they can in exchange for a step higher up that mountain, believing that they're going to reach the top, or what they'll see as the top, right? And for me, as I'm climbing this mountain, I'm learning that the mountain that I'm climbing is full of people who would willingly kick anyone off to get to the top. I'm realizing that the mountain that I'm climbing is full of people who don't venerate the Most High the same way that I do. And it's not necessarily about you having the same religious or spiritual beliefs as me, but it is about the energy and the light that you carry internally. And yeah, man, climbing up that mountain, everyone has a different path to get up it, right? And as I'm climbing my mountain and I see certain people, maybe take a different path or maybe take a different route than I, and sometimes I even feel like God is sending me in a longer route. But as I continue to climb, the reason why I've taken this route becomes more clear to me than ever. And God will isolate you, right? He will isolate you when you climb that mountain. Some people will be climbing a certain way. You may want to climb with the group, but the path that you're on may move far away from them. So he could talk to you and he could show things to you. And I feel like, if God chooses you to climb up such a mountain so he can communicate with you, then it obviously is aligned with purpose. So that's what we're talking about today. Continuing to climb that mountain. Because I know it's hard. Especially, it's hard to do it the right way. It's hard to do it without stepping on people. It's hard to do it without praying into weird energy, so they say. It may be hard. Well, actually, let me not even say that, because even when I spell in that manner, right, when we do that, we are unwillingly casting doubt and negative energy towards what we're trying to achieve, right? So let me not say it's hard. We may perceive that it's hard based on our current circumstance. It could be financial, it could be time, it could be legal, it could be whatever obligations, and you may have something that you want to do, and you may feel like everything in the universe is pulling you against what you believe your purpose is. And sometimes you may feel like, you know, I don't even want to climb this mountain no more. That's a trick. All right, don't fall for that. That's what the enemy wants you to do. he wants you. He wants you to quit climbing up the mountain because he knows at the top it's when you do your most damage. Because at the top is when you'll be aligned with the Most High, and naturally you're going to want other people to climb up the mountain in a righteous manner as well. So for all those out there that are still climbing that mountain, you know, focus and allow God to guide you. Right. The first track I played was "This Is the Way." Eat clean, exercise, and pray. Right. And with a lot of my music, not even just Rise of the Phoenix, sometimes I'll say things, or I'll put energies together that I don't know what they are at that time. Then I'll go back and I'll listen to them, and I'll be like, "That's why I said that." Right? Just being a conduit for whatever energy that I'm feeling. And this song, "This Is the Way," is very, very. I wrote it a while ago, and I got to stop saying "very" and "really" on YouTube. But I wrote this. I wrote this a while ago. And when I wrote it, it was a dope Mandalorian sample. Shout out to MindsEye Productions. Those horns, those horns. And I'm a nerd, yo. I'll be real with you. I'm a nerd, right? So I was at first thinking about creating some Star Wars sort of themed like track because I just thought it would be dope, you know. Enforced manipulation. There's a lot of parallels between that, the energies that we deal with today, right? Um, but I digress. As I started writing it, um, what I really started to communicate was the principles and way we should live for alignment. Eat clean, exercise, and pray. Praise God, what I'm trying to say. My brother, this is the way. Walk just one aside the fray. Live your destiny and rise today. My brother, this is the way. You right? Walk just. Right? Walking just. That means if you're going up that mountain and you have the ability to sacrifice someone, right? Or step on someone, or maybe move a rock in a direction, do anything to impede their progress to help you get up that mountain, you will never do it if you're walking just. Right? You will never do that. And when it comes to this entertainment, y'all, just like music and Hollywood and all this other craziness, I wouldn't really want to climb up the mountain with some of these people. I gotta be real with you. But I don't do it for them. I do it for you. I do it for me as well, right? I think I've said this process of me even podcasting is more so self-reflection for me. There are some podcasters who get up there and they'll basically react to current events, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we're going to react to things as they occur. Um, but I'm not necessarily someone that's chasing a trend so I can talk to y'all. I'm more so talking to y'all about what I'm going through. And if you're having a similar experience, I encourage you to join and participate and share, right? That way we could grow together. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that. Um, but I don't know, man. Climbing up that mountain, sometimes you wonder what's at the top. You may think the mountaintop looks a certain way, and then when you get up there, it could be something different. You may realize it's not even the top, or you could have realized that you climbed up the wrong mountain, and that's heavy, right? For some of y'all to climb mountains and manners that when you get to the top, you question why you did it, what was your purpose, and how you got there. That's not how I want to climb. And I'm not necessarily saying that I'm fully aware of the mountain that I'm climbing or what's at the top for me, but I do know that the manner that in which we walk it, I intend to walk it. Not to say that I'm perfect, but just the alignment of how we're climbing up this mountain. Um, it is aligned with the Most High. And if it's not, we always pray that he redirects us. That's what it has to be. 1,000,000%, yo. 1,000,000%. So it's late on the East Coast, but I'm up. My Lakers won. I'm vibing. I definitely am starting to have more fun doing this. And let me just be direct, right? It's not about me having fun podcasting. In terms of me sitting here talking to people, just personally, not really my cup of tea. I'm more of a behind the microphone sort of person. So even podcasting live, it took me a lot to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I find a rhythm, get in the groove. But the more I do it, the more I understand how important these timestamps are. Because one day we're going to look back at this, right? And we're going to see where we were in our journey. And I feel like anyone that's on a journey should do whatever they can to document, to journal, to leave bookmarks for themselves so they can revisit where they were in this process. Because what I also know is that when you're climbing that mountain and the hardship that you endure, going through your process, that's the strength that you gain. That's another thing that inspires me. Because when you're climbing and, you're climbing really high and really far and, using all your body weight up that mountain. I'm not a mountain climber, as you can tell. But I'm assuming that in order to climb to the top of a very high mountain, you have to be strong. You have to have strength. And the higher you get, the harder it gets. And that strength that you develop while climbing to that mountain are going to be the things that allow you to stay atop that mountain. Just being real. So the skills that you acquire, the behaviors that you acquire climbing up your mountain or the path that you're walking, the person that you have to become, what you have to get rid of in your life. Maybe you drink too much, maybe you don't work out enough, maybe you eat terribly, whatever. And we've talked about those things, and I don't want to even give them life again. But this is for anyone that may be tuning in and may be experiencing some form of dopamine chasing, right? To make you feel good. The strength that you acquire shaking those things is what's going to empower you. Amen, yo. It's real rap. It's real rap. But I told y'all, FNX, I got joints, yo. I got joints. Let's have some fun. Let's
Yeah. Hey, yo, Mike.
shout out to DJ Big Mike too, man. Lyrics still matter.
Balls on deck, dog, don't get your clip 8.
Yeah.
I'm the next legend on the Big Mike mixtape.
Yeah.
Told to gain the weight again cause I eat big plates. All it takes is emojis to blow in your chick face.
Nice.
This straight soul rap is the eye slaughter. I'm a prince of divine order, spitting bullets like flying motors. Opposing me and make time shorter. For metal alchemist, who can turn acid to alkaline water. Been told you that I'm wild with it. Put the rocket to your chest now, that's the way y'all get it. Moving like the golden child with it. Turn the snake and need into a staff, just to port the now with it. My style different, come loud with it fitted on. Some of the dead poets over beats I'm spitting on. Lyrically, I am a witch's spawn. Spilling blood in the same stone, the commandments are written on. Microphone miracle, lost on the Jericho. Drop bombs and I won't stop till the city gone. Someone tell M to let me on, cause I ride around 3-4 bras, they get their Remy on. You would get clapped on instinct. Balls on deck, you get scrapped on instinct.
Oh. Let's go to the pump verse. Go to the pump verse. I'm sorry.
Peace to the most honorable, legendary.
I have no idea how much of a punk fan I was.
Lyrics still matter. Look, I'm high as Goku on a flying Nimbus. Like a Titan with a Triton hurling lightning bolts right in Mount Olympus. The way you're right, I have your mouth contented. Sorry if I sound demented, my tongue is from a defound dimension. My goal to leave you on the ground cemented. Until I get the throne, I'm throwing head shot to the ground. The ghost fighter who's around for vengeance. Literally eat rappers, so cannibalism how I'm Pound for pound, still the nicest that you ever seen. Me on the mic is like Magneto and metal beams. Lost descendant of the Elohim. Still phonetic Freddy Krueger controlling hell and the devil's dreams. Lyrically a different archetype. Who will put your dollars in the carbonite? They go blow up your car at night. A super feeling from the darkest night. Who about to get so many bodies and drop it down to black market price? Here to save my soul as if I ever had one. Child of God who wants his revenge for the last son. I am the one that they will call the angel. Ordained by the most high to come clip the wings of the
fallen angels. Let's do it. Yo, it's a Smooth the Hustler. Me, G. Dr. Sawyer. You gotta do another one, bro.
Worries if I die, so clock drive. Did you feel stepping my way?
Yeah,
bodies get cremated on a Friday. Do a die way. Look, Dungeon Dweller, the Sweller, 5K the soul seller, Splinter John, the clone shredder, Snow Slutter, the show deader who won't let up. I'm the physical feet from Vendetta, its own setup. Who flows better? See my tongue's golly. I'm like Carnage and Venom, symbiote possessed in the one body. The modern illest with the balls, probably sick of the all killings. Teaching preschool, use them blow up dollar.
All right. Yeah, that was a bar. But fnxmusic.bandcamp.com is where you can go and get all my music until my website is up and running. We climbing up that mountain, baby. Climbing up the mountain for sure. And sometimes I even wonder, what is the purpose of the climb? Like, what we learn through it. And I know I said it gives you strength and it puts you in your best position. We just spoke about that. But I feel like the simulation of reality that we're in is a test of wit, intuition, and will. So I even think the way that we climb that mountain and the obstacles that we endure is also a way to show us or show the universe or the Most High God, right? How much you want, what you are asking for. And that's another thing, right? You don't want to watch footage of you climbing the mountain one day, but like, yo, I should have climbed faster, should have climbed harder. I didn't even look like I wanted to climb the mountain. You know, what mountain was this? You don't want to ask those questions if you believe there's some sort of playback, right? That's what they say in the end. You replay your life, right? And I'm just saying, when you watch the playback and you think about how you climbed that mountain, I would hope that you will climb in a manner that you will be proud of. Did you help other people get up the mountain? Who were you climbing with? I think those things are important. And you may not be able to climb with people. I mentioned earlier the path that you may have to climb up that mountain may take you away from the crowd. And once that happens, and your path takes you away from the crowd and you're ascending, what's the point of even going back? Things are different now. You and that crowd you were with before are on different sides of the mountain. You're on a different trajectory. You're at a different elevation. Your gravity may be a bit thinner. It may not even make sense. So that's the metaphor, right? And it's funny. I didn't prepare a Bible excerpt today, but I find myself often wanting to go to the Bible to connect with you guys. And this isn't a religious podcast. So for anyone that's not Christian, if you're Jewish or you're Muslim or whatever religion you are, right? We're talking about the Most High God, regardless of what you call him. When I bring him up, me, that's what I'm talking about. I found myself feeling like a preacher a little bit, yo. It's kind of wild. And even podcasting makes me enjoy sermons more. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all. But it does. It does. I appreciate the cadence. I appreciate, a good sermon is gonna loop. It's like a comedian, a good story, right? And they're gonna drop breadcrumbs in the beginning, and they may drop a lesson, and in the end, when they bring everything full circle, they'll bring you back right to where they started. I've seen good sermons do that, good pastors do that. I've seen comedians do that. Dave Chappelle is phenomenal at speaking, dropping breadcrumbs, articulating a story, bringing you from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, then bringing you right back to 1 at the end to tie it all together. I do appreciate that artistry for sure, for sure, and I'm gonna get ill with that. I'm gonna get ill with that. I just think it's interesting what this process even means for me because I'm a writer, right? I've toured, I've rapped, I got 7 or 8 projects. I enjoy the art of spoken word. I understand that the Most High God created the universe through spoken word, not the written word, the spoken word. He commanded his will through the words he was speaking. So when it comes to speaking and what what that may indicate, I understand the power in it. And as I've grown and matured, I've learned the power of the tongue. There's things that I may would have said 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years ago that I wouldn't say now. Partly because obviously I'm in a different life space. But as you grow and you're aware of the energies that you put out there, you may be venerating certain things that you're not even aware of. Part of me does feel like I was brainwashed, right? um, Brainwashed by hip hop into certain things. And, we'll spend more time on a separate episode about what that means. I got to bring the fellas for that. But in terms of if you're being aggressive, the punchlines, how we say things, the energy, the destructive energy that often has been put with hip hop and made and excuse me and put in a manner that we may think it's synonymous. Like hip hop is not destructive. It can be like any energy that exists. And I often feel at times that it's portrayed in a destructive manner as if that's all it is. But I also understand that when it comes to creation and anything that's created um, from the Most High God, right? And its true inception, it is to give praise, right? Speaking, music, singing. To clarify my point, the only reason that these things exist is because God allows it. So, at its highest form, at its highest frequency, paying tribute to its creator has to be I believe, the top level, right, of anything that you create. And I'm not necessarily saying, hey, because I'm not a gospel artist, right? I'm not Kirk Franklin or nothing. But music that praises the Most High does deserve a certain reverence. Spoken word or arts that praise the Most High does deserve certain reference because they are paying homage to its creator. And when I think about the power in that, I don't take it lightly. I don't. It's funny, even my daughter, she's running around rhyming, and I can see her energy level. She's 5, by the way. She's 5, and she's like, "Daddy, cat rhymes with hat and bat and bat." And she's playing with syllables. I mean, she's 5, right? Give her a break. But she gets it, and she hears me when I say things. Like I'll play a song of mine. She's like, "Daddy, why did you say that?" Then I realize I can't play everything around her. And then she'll ask me things about a word and pitches and inflections, and she's listening. And I do take pride in showing her my understanding of what it means to speak. I think that part is dope. I've even taught rap classes, by the way. I was at Career High School in New Haven. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was dope because I was talking to those students about climbing the mountain. Here we are, and we were talking about hip hop and even the nigga discussion, right? Just saying the word, how I believe it's a crutch for certain creators. I don't necessarily feel like it should be used, but that even though sometimes I may use it, um, but I also don't feel like it should be a absolute staple of everything you say. I know people that ride it, nigga with nigga, like, and sometimes it's funny. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I've laughed. There's artists that I do revere that I have done it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily have to be a part of how music is created. So then I showed these students that you could rap without cursing. Peace to Rakim, man. Peace to Rakim, Heavy D. Who else am I missing? There's a couple of them, a couple of us. And I say us now. It wasn't always like that for me, right? So God knows He's worked on me to the point where I can have this conversation and have discernment about how I create. I think that's an important point to make. Discernment. But either way, we're talking to these kids about climbing the mountain and overcoming adversity and how hip hop helped me. And we're, teaching hip hop, teaching the art of rhyming. We were doing things like telling a story, finish my rhyme, whatever. Complete a sentence, whatever. Things you may have done in a high school lunch table for the heck of it. I was using it as a tool to basically empower kids' confidence. Because newsflash, right? If you can't rap, I can't teach you. You got to seek that. Any creative, right? Not just rap. If you want to draw, you have to seek the art of drawing. You have to look at other artists, pay attention to their drawing styles, formulate your style, and learn the discipline. If you want to paint, you want to be a comedian, anything creative, you have to seek it. Creatives are self-taught. So when I go to this class of students and I'm doing these exercises around hip hop, it's really not to teach them anything besides self-confidence. Because I also believe that a confident student is the best student that you're going to get. But talking to them about climbing the mountain and the path that they have to take. And at that point, I was really thinking about what it meant to be a high schooler. You may be having friends that are doing some things that you shouldn't do, and you may have to, leave them be. And I thought that was a high school lesson. And now I sit back and I realize that's what climbing the mountain is about. That is a life lesson. You see how that came full circle? I didn't even realize it. And as I'm talking to you now, and I remember connecting with them saying, hey, you may start with certain people, but there may be designs for your fate and what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to go that may redirect you away from some of the people that you're around now. That's basically the bottom of the mountain. So for those high mountain climbers, it's all right that God may isolate you and take you on a longer path. For those high mountain climbers that want to climb in a righteous manner, right? It's all right that it's hard. It's supposed to be. But what we do know is that the strength that you are going to acquire while climbing up this mountain is what's going to empower you to do what you get ready to do. And I believe that's the beautiful part. Universal frequency, man. We out here. Whew. I hope y'all enjoying this, man, because I am. For sure. I mean, I would enjoy me. I'm me. Come on. Come on. What else am I feeling, man? So where I'm thinking of taking the podcast, less thinking, more doing. where I'm taking the podcast is I want to bring in other creatives and other small business owners that are really making a difference in their community or the community that I'm a part of, or both. I want to hear their stories. I want to hear what empowers them. I want to know why they get up and pursue whatever their craft is. So we're going to bring some guests. What do you guys think about that? I think it would be dope. And also, too, for me, as I've said before, masters attract masters. I like hearing how people got to the space that they're in, especially when they're successful and they do it, brick over brick. I like that. I want to hear that because I feel like everyone has a similar story of adversity. Maybe not the same things. I'm pretty sure there's different pieces you can swap out on the chessboard, but in the progress of them playing their chess, there was opposition. They lost pieces. They were frustrated. They may even been down in the game, but they're winning. And that's the type of energy that we want to venerate. That's the type of energy that I want you to get from this podcast. And that's what I'm looking to receive. So we're going to align ourselves with some dope people. Keep talking about dope things. Doing dope shit. Climbing a mountain, though, man. Maybe one day I'll actually climb a mountain. Nah, I ain't with that. Shout out to all you mountain climbers, the real mountain climbers. FNX ain't doing that. But the proverbial life mountain, I'm with you. The proverbial life mountain, I understand. I understand. Because here's the thing, man. Once you start climbing, you can't even go back down, yo. It'd be a waste of time. All that time you spent climbing, even if you spent most of your life and you feel like you're only 60% of the way there without knowing how close you are, and you could really feel like, you know what, I can't climb no more. That's when you have to keep climbing. That moment where you're about to break, that moment where you're fatigued, you tap into the God within yourself and you keep climbing. Because that's the breakthrough. That's the threshold. And of course, the adversity is going to get the strongest the closer you get to the top of that mountain. That's how it's designed, man. That's the test. So when that universe pushes back, you push back even harder. Spirit fingers. Spirit fingers. What other music we gonna play for y'all, man? Sometimes I see other podcasters who will just play music in the background, but I feel like you can't hear it. So I got to figure out a way where I can play it for y'all. I can enjoy it. But let's keep rocking.
Cause I'm spitting like Emmett Till, praying to have his noose cut. It's guard mode when I'm goosed up. It's like I'm sending coordinates for a drone to blow the booth up. I told niggas the rap game is before war. I'm merciless, verbalist, and lyrical warlord. That's more guts and more gore. So my flow is sharper than blazes on skeleton sword. I'm on tour with a catalog. Yep. Cause you going against me is like an angel trying to battle God. Fuck all your pills and Adderall. And you still couldn't beat me if you gathered on 7 Dragon Balls. You about to take a mean loss. I'm an arsonist in hell with gasoline draws. It was written, I rule the war out of mean loss. I'm about to kill rappers that let some steam off. Put my team on, just trying to get a paycheck. The nicest 36 chambers is in my tape deck. Which beat is getting 8 next? I'm the illest in the game and I ain't even reached my apex. For more bread, I become a villain. Like Lord's head, smothering sheets, blood in your firstborn forehead. I got a plan to leave them all dead. If all fails, then I open the earth with nuclear warheads. Time and lyrical octagons. I starve niggas like bacon bitch through a Ramadan. I flex shit just to drop a bomb. Cause my style is rawer than new pussy with no condom on. I murder any beat I'm hopping on. Cause my flow is colder than the night dead fetus of Octomom. Genetically, I'm a phenomenon. Becoming more hammers than a door panel at.
Yeah, like I said, man, like I said, some of that I kind of want to say today, you know. Sometimes I listen to my old stuff. I'll be like, yo, what was I thinking? Right? And that's the dope part about this music being a timestamp, man, because I get to like revisit my younger self and be like, yo, what was going on with you? Probably a lot. That's life. But this is the Universal Frequency Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about things that connect the soul. Climbing the mountain is something that I feel we all can relate to. So I wanted to talk about it. And we all may climb that mountain differently. We all may have different mountains. We may have different heights or different ascensions. You have to get right with God and align whatever path you're climbing on to do what you're supposed to do. This is that call to action, right? You don't need nothing else besides you and your wit. You don't need nothing else besides the God within you. If you're hungry enough, they'll drop you in the middle of the jungle and you'll figure out a way to eat. When the Most High is on your side, nothing is impossible, right? David killed Goliath with a stone. And battled his brothers. Like an army of giants. Right? So, over the course of his lifetime. Right? So it wasn't just one battle with a giant that he killed. It was a lifetime of battles with these giants. You understand? A lifetime. No matter how big you get, there's always going to be things that you have to battle. There's always going to be adversity. That's the point of this. To appreciate feeling good sometimes, you have to feel bad. Simple. To appreciate being comfortable, you have to be uncomfortable. So it's at these moments that, you know, my brethren, right? My brothers and sisters climbing the proverbial mountains, and they're tired. They've been climbing a long time. I mean, they felt like they should have been higher up that mountain than they are. And they don't understand why they have to climb this way. And it doesn't look like they're going to make it. And they feel like quitting. It's at that point where you show your superpowers and you keep climbing. That's what I think. Universal frequency, y'all, for sure. I'm having a good time. It is stupid late on the East Coast. I probably should take it down. Maybe play some Madden, how I'm feeling. Jump a few people off. The Real FNX is my Twitch, DaReal FNX. Same thing as my social media information below. Yeah, come play with me. Come play with your boy. Come catch this L, right? I am the best rapper in Madden. I said it. I can't wait to prove it. I should be on the cover of Madden. That's what I feel. Like the first non-NFL player to be on the cover of Madden. We're going to get it cracking. I appreciate y'all, yo. All right. Have a good night. Remember, to all my climbers out there, keep climbing. Who cares how hard it gets? You keep pushing back, you'll eventually be where you got to be, all right? Peace and love.
Energy, frequency, vibration. Energy.